sections of life.
From Martine Studios in New York, your trending topic TV show. This is Talking Heads with Nizam.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Talking Heads. I'm your host, Nizam, and my distinguished panel today is Mr. Shaun and Davon Roberts. We are going to get right into it. My favorite segment, gentlemen, is What Are You Watching? Shaun, let's talk about it. What are you watching, man?
Well, since the fall shows just started, there's too many to even watch. I mean, it's too early to tell, and that's always my biggest fear, is you start watching a show and like 3 weeks later it gets canceled.
Yeah.
So I usually pump the brakes when it starts coming to watch new shows. What I did, though, over the summer, I caught up on Game of Thrones. So HBO Go, all 4 seasons, watched it probably in like a week and a half because all I heard was nothing but good things about it. So sure enough, I watched all 4 seasons. It's amazing. Can't wait for more.
So. Yeah, it's going to be good. Anything else?
It's going to be good. It's my guilty pleasure of like reality TV, and we're not talking about like Real Housewives or anything.
Right.
But I've always loved Survivor. Survivor is hands down my favorite show. I love watching the alliances, the manipulation, and like the physical threats.
John Rocker's on that this season. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he is, but I don't know. Maybe he might get evicted. He's not looking to.
No.
Yeah, a couple people found out, like he tried to play it low. John Rocker, of course, the famous pitcher for the Braves. He tried to play it off like, oh, I'm not this guy, but like 1 or 2 people recognized him, and then it all went downhill from there. Because we all remember the comments he made about New York. So, and then people were like started calling him names and things like that. So we'll see. You'd have to watch Survivor, find out what happens.
All right, that's cool. Vaughn, what about you?
Well, I'm looking forward to the new season of Walking Dead.
Okay.
So I binge watched that last time, and it kind of grew on me a little bit. Last season was a little bit slow, but I'm looking forward to the new season coming up. But right now, I'm actually reading this book by Ken Follett. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. It's called Winter for the World. It's actually it's a 3-part trilogy. Well, obviously 3-part doesn't mean trilogy, but it's a trilogy. It's the second installment of it, and the new book Edge of Darkness just came out, so I'm trying to catch up on it. It's about basically about the World War I, World War II, and the last book is going to be just about like forecasting as what might happen in World War III. I'm not a history buff, but it's actually a really good book. It's fiction, but it's got that nonfiction undertone, as in it just kind of tells you all the different parts that happened during World War I and World War II, which is pretty fascinating.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff coming out like that right now. Again, we have Brad Pitt like fighting Germany or something, but it's kind of that era, and there's tanks and stuff like that. And there was a big there was something on the History Channel about the movie that Brad Pitt's in, and how they kind of held their line and stuff like that. So there's kind of that World War I, World War II kind of thing going on right now. So what's the book called again?
It's called Winter of the World. The first one is called The Fall of Giants, which I thought was an awesome book, probably my favorite book of all time. And I'm not a big reader, but after I read that one, I'm like, I got to start getting into it. But The Winter of the World so far, I'm only about probably a third of the way through, and I'm loving it. Not as much as Fall of Giants, but best is yet to come, I'm sure.
That's cool. I feel you on the new shows, because I'm watching How to Get Away with Murder, and it's got me hooked a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out like, do I want to stay with it? Like, is this one of those shows that's gonna stick around?
Well, that's a Shonda show, right?
Yeah. Shaun,
so the same lady who does Scandal, and I mean Scandal. We all know how that took off.
Oh, come on! I've been watching that. Yeah, but you know what? We're still kind of trying to figure out what's going on with How to Get Away with Murder, and so I'm on that. And then so I like some comedies, New Girl and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
And I do the Netflix thing, House of Cards. House of Cards,
nice.
Orange is the New Black.
That was another one I've been watching.
Yeah. So
I'm actually looking forward to the next season, man. I'm just curious.
House of Cards?
Where they're going to take that.
House of Cards? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I can't wait.
Now he's Mr. President now?
Yeah, right?
Crazy.
And Game of Thrones, too. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But it's my favorite time. It's my favorite segment. What are you watching? But let's get into some of the news stories here. There's a 29-year-old girl named Brittany Maynard. She wants to die with dignity. She has cancer of the brain, and she was told at first that she was going to have like 3 to 8 years, 5 to 10 years, something like that to live. And then they diagnosed her again and said that it had spread, and she is going to only have a few months. So her family's moved to Oregon, and she wants to, die with dignity. Davon, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that?
Well, obviously, first off, it's a very sad story. You know, I really feel bad for the girl. I mean, she's, what, 29 years old or something like that, so she's really young, got her whole life ahead of her. But at the same time, I'm not real sure how I feel about people taking their own lives. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, it is an avenue. They're saying that she's going to experience a lot of pain throughout this ordeal in her last couple of months. So I get why she want to do it. She doesn't want to go through that. She doesn't want her family to go through that. But at the same time, I got to believe that, you know, miracles sometimes do happen. I mean, you never really know. I mean, the same way that they gave her this scan and this tumor was, you know, grown exponentially. You didn't have 8 years. You didn't now all of a sudden have 6 months. I mean, it could go the other way as well. I mean, technology and medicine, I mean, it's getting to the point that anything's possible. I don't know if she should give up so easily. I mean, obviously, that's easy for me to say, not being in her position. But for the ability to just give somebody a pill and just have them pop it and then be gone, I just feel like we're getting to a very slippery slope, because you got a lot of people out there with depression and all these other things that could go wrong. And, you know, they pop the pill and then they're gone and there's no coming back for them. I'm a little on the edge about that.
Shaun, what about you, man?
That has got to be one of the hardest choices that any person could possibly make. And in interviews, she's even said that she doesn't want to die. Like, nobody really wants to die. But she's just making that choice. And obviously, with having brain cancer, I can't even imagine how painful that must be. So, like you're saying, to avoid the pain, I respect it. I respect her decision. I think it's her choice to make, and absolutely, if that's what she wants to do, then.
Yeah, I feel like especially when there's something medical, that it's medicine and hospitals are bankrupting people. You know what I'm saying? So this is also a concern. Let's say she does fight. Let's say she does fight the good fight and try to stay alive. You know, how much is that going to cost her new husband? How much is that going to cost her family? Is she gonna fight the good fight, pass away, and then her family is left in debt, and who knows what they have to do? I mean, there's so many factors that go into this, and I mean, it's easy to sit here and judge and say, oh, I wouldn't do it, or I'd fight, or I would, you know. And, you know, miracles do happen. That would be my thing. That would be my overthinking thing in the back of my mind. What if, you know, tomorrow, I die today, but tomorrow somebody comes in and goes, oh, and you take the Y chromosome and boom, and, you know, whatever, and they solve the problem.
Well, especially because she just got married, you know what I mean? So imagine what her husband's going through. I'm not saying that should be her overarching concern, but I mean, it's got to play a factor into it. I mean, you spent whatever it is that you spent on your wedding, you went through all of this, you said you love this guy, you want to be with him forever. Obviously, you said death do you part, and obviously death is coming, but at the same time, the expectation was that, look, we're going to, you know, have whatever kind of relationship that we're going to have. We're going to have kids. We're going to do all this great things in life. And you know, he won't have that opportunity. And I don't know. I just feel, I don't want to say that it's selfish, because again, I mean, it's her decision, it's her personal choice. But you know, it's got to be something that she eventually thinks about. You know?
Yeah. It's such a fine line. And I saw this and I was like, man. I was like, what would I do?
What do you think about the pill, though? The fact that they can.
I mean, it's Kevorkian-esque. I mean, you know, I don't know if you remember Dr. Kevorkian back with this, you know, assisted suicides. I mean, there's ways to do it. There's graphic ways to do it. There's you know, more simple ways to do it, more humane, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But it's just, I mean, on the flip side of any medical issue that can kill you, there's so many costs that go along with that.
True.
And it's just like, is it selfish to fight knowing that you may die and then you may leave this debt to, you know, all these people and or one person, or, you know, or your kids or something like that? I mean, I don't know what I would do. It's a tough situation. It's brave for her to even come out and speak about it. Agreed. Because she could, you know, she did, like, I don't know if it was like a web campaign, but she did a video that kind of went viral and stuff. And but she's just brave to the point to even talk about it, because she's definitely going to catch some scrutiny from social media and from you know, mainstream media or whatever. That said, let's move on to the next topic. Get a little lighter here, but I don't know. I just felt we had to talk about it. I mean, she's strong, and that's a really tough decision. But Fox News said something crazy. Surprise, surprise. So it was just a little blurb, but some Fox News anchors are discouraging young people from voting. There's a November primary coming up here next month, and they said, you know, if you don't know the issues, then don't vote. And, you know, Shaun, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this is just a classic case of Fox News. First off, I believe everybody has the right to an opinion. You know,
Agreed.
we're on this talk show right now talking about our own opinion. So you know what, Fox News, good for you for having an opinion, but be honest about it. You know, the real reason they were probably talking about it is because Fox News notoriously Republican biased, and now let me check my stats. 53% of young voters between the ages of 18 and 29 are Democrats or lean Democratic, whereas only 35% are Republicans. So they're just trying to influence non-Republican voters not to vote. You know, help out their cause. So I think that's ridiculous. If you're going to have an opinion, stage why.
Right.
You know, and then also I just don't think young people. If you're going to go with that route, like young people don't know the issues. Like talk about old people who don't know the issues. You know?
Thank you.
The elderly.
Thank you.
The elderly are still voting. You know, let's just draw a line there. They shouldn't be allowed to vote.
they don't even know their name, let alone.
If you don't own property, you shouldn't be able to vote. Like that's why are we drawing lines? I don't know.
How about you, D?
I'll tell you what. First off, I think the only thing that Fox News has gotten right in a long time is Fox Sports.
Fox Sports 1.
I'm telling you, man, I just don't understand how they just continuously say the things that they say and just get away with it. I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, I mean, this is about the whole, you know, young people came out, got Barack Obama or whatever Democrat they want into the House, and they're worried about that happening again in the 2016 election. But why not focus on the fact that this campaign that they were talking about is just trying to get people to vote? Just get them to vote. And if you don't appreciate or like the fact that these quote unquote kids don't know what they're talking about, so they're going to vote this way, why don't you educate them or try to tell them about whatever your views are? Because for Fox News, for whatever reason, this short-sightedness, they don't understand it. These kids are eventually going to be 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. So they're going to grow up, and if you don't get them young and try to sway them over to your side for whatever it is that you want them to think, you're going to lose them later on as well. So stop trying to get people not to vote and just say whatever it is you need to say to try to persuade them over to your side. It just seems like it'd be a little bit more of a practical solution.
I feel like the most common sense thing, if you have, or the most common sense idea would be, instead of saying don't vote if you don't know the issues, learn the issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you should say. You know, like, I feel like whenever you say no to someone, it shuts down everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you give an option, or if you throw something out there to the effect of, even, I don't know. Well, I don't know. What do you think? You know, it keeps the wheels turning. When you say, hey, can I get this ice cream? No. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay. You know, it kind of shuts it down, you know? But I feel like they could have definitely went a different route with it. Like, you know, young people seem to not know the issues. I consider us young people. We're 20-something, 30-something people. I feel like I knew the issues, or knew the issues that I cared about. I think that would be more of a better statement, is young people have issues that they care about that might not be issues that I care about or that these anchors care about, rather than just throwing out a blanket statement.
You know what it is? It's that high school mentality when somebody makes an argument that you don't like. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly. That's like on Facebook, man. Like a lot of Facebook scholars and you know, experts on Facebook. They throw out their opinions or their blanket statements, and then you come and you hit them with like maybe a few facts or something, or maybe like just a common sense, you know, like, hey, you fight fire with fire, I fight fire with water. Oh, well, I'm going to defriend you. You know, it's just like when you hit them with something that kind of, you know,
something that makes sense,
kind of twist them up a little bit. It's like, you know, you don't know what you're talking about, and you know, and then they start name calling and, you know, bashing Obama or whatever the case may be. But it's just, it's more, I'm all about solutions. You know, and it's just like I would rather we can talk about and I don't even think young people voting is a bad thing. Like you were saying, like the Obama campaign, they were just trying to get some new young voters out there, and maybe they knew the stats beforehand, so they were trying to tip the scales a little bit. But I mean, Diddy was like trying to get young people to vote. Like I mean, rock the vote. Like he jumped on, you know, vote or die, I think was his. I don't think he did rock the vote.
Rock the vote was way back. We're talking
rock the vote was like
MTV in like the 90s.
But there's always a movement to get young voters to come out and vote. And
they notoriously vote in low numbers. Like I think only like 20% or like low 20s of people 18 to 29 are actually turned out to vote. So I don't even know what Fox News is worried about. Like, they're not even going to show up. So
yeah, exactly. They're just creating the hoopla.
No, but it's about informing people about the issues, like you said before.
Yeah.
And just, you know what? If you're going to vote the issues, pick the politicians who you like, who support your views, and then vote for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very simple. Yeah, that's what I feel like. It's very simple.
Hey, the earlier you get people involved, the better, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's kind of stay kind of in the same, or not really. We're going to switch it up. We're going to talk about the NFL and religion. So if we could post, Keith, if you could post that picture with Tim Tebow kneeling. So I got kind of crazy on Facebook with this right here. So basically, there's Tim Tebow, and he's saying his prayer, and then there's Hussein. He scored a touchdown, and he's saying his prayer. And this is one of those Facebook pics that kind of polarizes the whole social media thing. And one is saying, like, hey, Tebow can do whatever he wants, and he's a religious role model, but Hussein says a prayer, and he gets penalized and stuff like that. Specifically about this picture right here, what's your take on this, Davon?
I'll tell you what. I mean, I get the whole Christian Muslim thing. We are like a predominantly Christian country. Muslim, they are, for whatever reason, unfortunately equated specifically to like Middle Eastern, 9/11, and all and stuff like that. So I understand that there's a bias against him. But when I saw him do that, I assumed that the flag that was thrown was just because he went down to the ground. I don't think they actually knew that he was going to pray.
Right.
So I don't think the NFL was trying to say, hey, look, you can't be praying, or, it's just a Christian sport or something like that. It was just a matter of you went down to the ground, and you're not allowed to do that in the NFL.
Right.
And of course, somebody took this picture and wanted to make something polarizing, and then here we are. But I don't think the NFL really meant anything by it. And I'm happy they came out the next day and kind of said, hey, look, we got the flag wrong. This shouldn't have happened that way. Right. But at the same time, we got to really stop with this whole polarization thing on Facebook.
What about you, Shaun?
I couldn't agree with them anymore. There was somebody on Facebook purposely trying to cause controversy. I did watch that game. I did see that play. Before he actually kneeled down and started praying, he was actually sliding in on his knees in the end zone before he even crossed the line. Mm-hmm. So he was actually just running and already started into his touchdown celebration, which was on the ground.
Yeah.
So I think the officials saw that, and then they were like, oh, you can't go on your knees that fast. I didn't think they watched him praying. Yeah. But as you said, the NFL did come back and say, no, he should not have got the flag because it was for religious purposes. So.
Right. So my whole thing with this picture is, the polarization and the connotation between Christian and religion, and even some people even went black and white with this.
Yeah.
I personally feel like the NFL does have a problem with religion, and that's why Tebow's not in the league. And everyone's like, Tebow's not in the league because he's terrible and he's not a good quarterback and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, there's quarterbacks that are in the league that are still getting paid that are not good. True. And he was a backup quarterback. But I do feel like there is an underlying religion card that the NFL will tend to play. I didn't like this particular post because it's kind of separating the two. And I feel like Tebow was kind of run out because of that. The dude won games, he won playoff games. But when he wins, it's the defense. When he loses, it's Tebow's fault. But another thing that I didn't like about this is that when it comes to knowing the rules and stuff like that, whoever posted this didn't know the rules. You're not supposed to celebrate at all. Yeah. If you spike the ball, you get fined. If you throw the ball up into the stands, or even if you give the ball away to someone, you get fined. So another thing that kills me about Facebook and about things like this is that people don't know what they're talking about, and it's just if they would have known the rules, they would have never even fixed their computer to go online and throw this out there.
Yeah, sometimes even if they do know the rules, they're kind of just like, well, I want to create controversy. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and put something up there and take it completely out of context and then have people get all up in arms about it. I don't know. I feel like Twitter and Facebook, as great as they are, man, it's causing some issues in this country. Make people think they can say whatever it is they want.
Right.
With people, you post first and think later. They're like, so when I saw that post, I was like, wow, that's a really great point. But then when I researched it, I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. So I was like, you know, look into, if you're going to post something on Facebook, think about it before you actually post it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it put a line between Christian and Muslim. It put a line between white and black. Yeah. And just my thing was it's completely wrong off gate because he wasn't flagged for religious reasons. But I feel like a lot of players and I feel like there was a lot of talk about Tebow when he was in the league about how he loved the Lord and he prayed and he thanked God all the time. And as much as players and athletes point up when they score a touchdown or when they hit a three or something like that, as much as religion is in there, I feel like Tebow was kind of run out because he pushed it a little too much. I don't feel like he pushed it on people. No. I just feel like he announced it.
Tebow was doomed to fail. I mean, his hype coming out of Florida just made him that figure that's larger than life. So anything that he said, unless he was actually, putting up numbers like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, he was all set. Because people just didn't like the fact that this guy, who wasn't as good as people, I guess, quote unquote, should be in the NFL, was getting all this praise and everything else. So Tebow was in trouble.
I hate to dwell on this guy, but Tebow's my man. Tebow, he won in high school. He won championships in high school. He won championships in college. And I feel like if someone gave him the chance, he would win championships in the NFL. The guy's a backup quarterback.
He should have just played tight end, though.
He got one.
The Patriots wanted him to play tight end. He would have been amazing, but now he's like, no, I'm
maybe he'd be an amazing QB. I really don't feel like he got a shot. He got one season, one full season as the starting QB, maybe two.
Yeah, but when you sign Tebow as a quarterback in this league, you bring the circus with you, man. And that's
that's why he came to the Jets.
They need the publicity.
Exactly. All right. I'll start talking about Tebow. I want to get into this segment. This is a great segment. It's called "Do You Care?" I'm going to throw a couple things out at these guys, and if you feel like you have to explain your answer, it's basically yes, no. But if you feel like you have to explain it, you can. And if not, we'll move on. So Kim Ye may be getting divorced. There's rumors flying around out there. Kim and Kanye, I'm talking about. How you feel about the Westises?
Mother of North.
Yes. Kim Ye and Nori, the Westises.
I could care less.
Yeah? All right. What about you?
I kind of care a little bit, though, just because I think that Kim Kardashian might be the one, so Kim, I
like Khloe. I mean, I used to watch the Kardashians, but I like Khloe. I don't know. She's she's like the redhead stepchild.
If Kim just didn't talk, we might make it.
All right. The Rock made a surprise appearance on WWE. I know you. How you feel about that?
I think it's good for the sport. I mean,
did you see it?
No, I did not.
Oh, I thought you were a WWE guy.
I'm not really that big into it.
Oh.
I'll watch it here and there, like the big ones, the WrestleManias and stuff.
Okay.
I think with WWE's performance lately, if you have like rating slippage, like, what are you going to do?
Bring The Rock back.
Bring The Rock back. Don't be surprised if next Monday night you see Stone Cold. I don't know.
Well, how you feel? You care?
I think I care, man, just because The Rock is just like an American icon. The dude is everywhere all the time. So.
All right. Next up. Nicole Eggert. You remember Baywatch and Charles in Charge? She is driving an ice cream truck. Do you care?
I was not aware of that. I feel bad for her, but no. No, I don't.
Davon, what about you?
What a fall from grace, man. Another celebrity driving an ice cream truck.
Driving an ice cream truck. She's posting stuff on Twitter.
Wait, there's other celebrities who drive ice cream?
Well, they might as well be. You got their paper bagging and everything. I don't care. I mean,
oh, man.
I just feel bad. These they just don't know how to invest their money, I guess.
So it's bad.
So forgive me because I didn't research this one. Allen Iverson he's out in the world right now. He's begging for money. Rumor has it. How do you feel about that? Do you care?
I do care. That is sad. I watched, it's interesting you bring up like celebrities going broke or sports athletes going broke. I watched the 30 for 30 on ESPN documentary Broke. Did you see that? It goes into, and obviously everyone thinks, oh, these celebrities just go broke because they're like just at strip clubs, like making it rain.
Yeah.
But there's other reasons why they go broke, and it's very sad. Like bad investments. Once people think you're richer than you are, I got a great investment opportunity, and these athletes don't know any better. Yeah. So there's other reasons why they go.
Yeah,
broke.
there's a lot. There's a lot.
It's sad though that people you're that young, you just go and become an instant millionaire overnight. It's like winning the lottery. Mm-hmm. You don't know how to manage your money. It is sad.
That's crazy.
I feel like they should go through better like training, like financial training.
I think there is back to the NFL. I think there are NBA, but no, I think NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, I think they have a lot of programs. It's just about getting the players to go and really suck it in, because it's like that's a lifestyle change, man. For a lot of these cats are probably paycheck to paycheck, or they're coming out of college where they're not eating or whatever, and then all of a sudden they get a 6-figure paycheck or something, and it's just like and when I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, I used to hang out with a couple of the, like special teams guys or, practice squad guys, and they just didn't know. I mean, they weren't paying their rent. They were getting evicted.
It's crazy. I mean, you talk about, bring it full circle and go back to the voting and kids not knowing. I mean, you talk about 18, 19, 20-year-olds and you just write them a check for $1 million. Things are going to happen, you know what I mean? Yeah. But the thing about Allen Iverson, though, I mean, I do care about that, and I kind of feel bad for him. But the good news is I think it comes to a certain point, he has to get to an excellent age where he gets like a $40 million check or something.
Yeah, he's got like a trust fund or something like that.
Yeah, which I guess was a smart move. I don't know if he did it or his agent or somebody did it, so I thought that was pretty smart in there. But you're on the street panhandling, though, after being
that's what I heard. Like I said, I didn't research that one too well.
I actually saw pictures about it.
Yeah, I think, it's kind of the rumor. But all right, next up, Frozen. Do you care? The Disney movie.
What's there to care about?
Devon, Frozen.
I do not care.
Oh, man, I'm trying to keep that one around. All right.
I heard it's a musical now, right?
I think so. Why not?
Do you have the soundtrack?
Let it go. Do you want to build a snowman? All right, last one. It's been 666 years since Halloween has fallen on Friday the 13th. Do you care?
No.
No?
Wait,
666 years?
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
Halloween's always on the 31st. How is it going to fall on Friday the 13th?
No, Friday oh man, I messed that up. No, I messed it up.
You've read the numbers.
That's not even possible.
It's been 600.
That was a good catch.
What's it been 666
Well, no,
years
I guess it's been on a Friday. I don't know. I gotta look that. I gotta look that one up.
Like
I messed it up.
That's actually.
You gotta check your facts.
Let's get out of here.
You should not vote.
I don't
know the issue.
So do you cares or like you don't? I don't research those. No. Sorry.
I actually got really nervous though. I was like, Friday the 13th, Halloween.
I gotta 666.
I gotta look that one up. That's a good point.
That's always
good
like
catch.
the one on Facebook when people are like, "Oh, this is like the day in the Back to the Future movie when they went into the future."
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. People just make stuff up on the internet. Right.
Oh, I messed that one up.
Did you get that on Facebook?
I might have. We got to get out of here. Listen, you guys can check us out on Verizon 45, Cablevision 76, Friday nights at 8 p.m. You can check us on the website, wpcommunitymedia.org, and look for me on Facebook and stuff. We'll see you real soon. Later.